Market Mantra.
So we move on to our first story. The government today approved the Scheme for Viability Gap Funding, VGF, for the development of battery energy storage systems, BESS. Briefing the media after the cabinet meeting in New Delhi today, Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur said the scheme envisages the development of 4,000 megawatt hours of BESS projects by 2030-31 with the financial support of up to 40% of the capital cost as budgetary support. He said it has an initial outlay of about 9,400 crore rupees, including budgetary support of 3,760 crore rupees. He informed that the VGF shall be disbursed in 5 tranches linked with various stages of implementation of BESS projects. The minister added to ensure that the benefits of the scheme reach the consumers, a minimum of 85% of the BESS project capacity will be made available to distribution companies or DISCOMs. Mr. Thakur said the government remains committed to promoting clean and green energy solutions, and the BESS scheme is a significant step towards achieving this vision. He added it will not only enhance the integration of renewable energy into the electricity grid, but also minimize wastage while optimizing the utilization of transmission networks. In another decision, the government also approved 1,164 crore rupees as an additional fund requirement under the Industrial Development Scheme 2017 for Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. The minister said the funds will help meet the committed liabilities under the scheme up to 2028-29. The government announced Industrial Development Scheme in 2017 for Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Under this scheme, the total financial outlay was 131.90 crore rupees, which was exhausted during the financial year 2021-22. The government had announced the Industrial Development Scheme in 2017 for Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Now we are very delighted. Dr. Sharma, welcome to our program. Hello.
Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you for joining us, Dr. S.P. Sharma. So we just now are seeing that a decision has come in from the cabinet about the BESS or the battery energy storage systems. So in terms of India's commitment to green and clean energy and 2030, we have some targets, distinct targets to meet. How is this step going to take us in that direction?
Yes, I think this is a great development because the development of the states, particularly the infrastructure development and synchronized industrial policies, will go a long way to provide a growth trajectory to the states. So I'm happy to notice that this is going to benefit the state in terms of the economic development and also the people in terms of getting benefits from the industrial development of such states.
जी डॉक्टर शर्मा, जो बीईएस प्रोजेक्ट्स की जो बिजली निर्माण की जो क्षमता होगी वो उसका 85% डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कंपनीज डिस्कॉम्स को दिया जाएगा, वितरण कंपनियों को दिया जाएगा। और ये वितरण कंपनियां जो हैं, बिजली वितरण कंपनियां हैं, ये इसका लाभ उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचाएंगी। आपको लगता है कि उपभोक्ताओं के लिए इससे कुछ फ़ायदा बहुत होने वाला है?
जी बिल्कुल, ये काफ़ी टीडियस सिस्टम रहा है पहले के जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कंपनीज हैं, कई बार उनको डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में सबसे बड़ी डिफिकल्टी आती है। तो जिस तरीके से अभी सरकार ने अनाउंस किया है कि 85% उनको दिया जाएगा इसका लाभ डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करने के लिए, ये बहुत बड़ी डेवलपमेंट है। और इसके लिए ये उन कंपनीज के लिए चैलेंज भी है कि वो किस तरीके से इसका जो एफिशिएंटली वो प्रयोग करके एक उपभोक्ता तक पहुंचाते हैं, क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली दिस स्कीम इज फॉर द वेलफेयर ऑफ द पीपल। तो उनको आगे अपने जो कार्यक्रम, जो उनका कार्य है, उनको काफी स्ट्रॉन्ग करना होगा, सो दैट द जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में वेस्टेज कम हो और जो इसका लाभ है जो उपभोक्ताओं तक सही तरीके से पहुंच पाए।
Dr. Sharma, when we talk of green energy, we also know that obviously because of infrastructure development and others, there's a cost associated with it. Now, fossil energy from fossil fuels and conventional ways of producing energy, there's an existing system, there's a cost structure. How do you think our movement to green energy, do you think it will actually bring down energy costs for the people?
Yes, companies in the private sector and the public sector are making their efforts to reduce the cost of green energies, because now the technological development, we don't have any strong technological development right now. We are dependent on the advanced economies, and we are buying and we are collaborating with them for the more and more efficient technologies to development for the development of the green technology and green energy in the country. But right now the cost is high, but we have to reduce this cost to the level of rational prices which are competent with the global prices. And as India is dreaming to become a global hub of the green tech energies, then there is a lot of effort is required to move forward to reduce the cost and to collaborate more and more with the efficient green energies providers throughout the world. Like in the European countries, Norway, Spain, all these countries are very good in providing the green energies and green technologies. So many joint ventures are happening, and at the domestic front also, large conglomerates and the public sector companies are making their efforts each day to reduce the cost, so that costs are becoming competitive, and we are able to penetrate more and more green energy and clean energy in our system. That is called the growth of green GDP. That will help us to make more and more sustainable going forward, to make strong growth with the help of the green energies and green technologies.
So you did mention that India is likely to, becoming a hub of green energy. Well, currently, India, particularly New Delhi, is also the hub of the upcoming G20 summit. So what do you think we have to look forward to in terms of the conversations here? Because, important nations, their representatives are coming in terms of green and clean energy. Some important decisions are likely to be taken.
Yes, government is very proactive now, because they have announced the green hydrogen mission also with a great chunk of amount, and they have provided a lot of incentives and ease of doing business for the development of green technologies in the country. And in the recent budget also, they provided a great chunk of more than 19,000 crore for the development of green technologies, and then for the infrastructure development for such kind of clean and green energies. So there is a that is called the National Green Hydrogen Mission, which is connecting so many ministries and departments to move forward with more and more focus on the development of green hydrogen and green technologies. So I think government is very, very proactive, and we are hopeful that we will become a green technology, green energy hub in the coming times, because our target is to become the net zero by 2070, and we have targets that India should provide at least 10% of the green hydrogen demand in the world, so that it becomes really a hub of the green hydrogen.
जी एसपी शर्मा जी, स्वच्छ ऊर्जा की दिशा में आगे बढ़ने के लिए विकासशील देशों की हमेशा से मांग रही है कि टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर्स जो है, जो प्रौद्योगिकी का जो स्थानांतरण है, वो विकसित देशों की तरफ से नहीं हो रहा है, और एक फंडिंग भी एक बहुत बड़ी समस्या है। तो आपको लगता है कि अब जो ये G20 की बैठक होने जा रही है, शिखर सम्मेलन होने जा रहा है नई दिल्ली में 9 और 10 तारीख को, इसमें कुछ एक सार्थक कुछ एक आउटकम निकलने की आपको लगती है, उम्मीद लगती है कि इस बारे में कुछ सहमति बन पाएगी?
जी बिल्कुल, क्योंकि जो G20 कंट्रीज है, उनका जो बेसिक ऑब्जेक्टिव है, जो मत है, वो सहमति बनाना है कि जो ऐसे क्लाइमेट चेंज के जो टीडियस इश्यूज हैं, जो क्लाइमेट चेंज का चैलेंज है, उसको हम अच्छे से एड्रेस कर पाए, क्योंकि वो किसी एक कंट्री के हित में नहीं है, वो सभी कंट्रीज के हित में है। G20 को में अगर हम देखें कि किसी एक कंट्री या 2 को या 4 को उसकी जरूरत है, पूरा इंटायर जो G20 ग्रुप है वो चाहता है कि भी हम जो ये चैलेंज है, जो एनवायरमेंट चैलेंज है, जो क्लाइमेट चेंज का चैलेंज है, उसको अच्छे से एड्रेस कर पाए। हम जो अपनी जो डेवलपमेंट है, जो उसको और सस्टेनेबल बना पाए विद द सपोर्ट ऑफ ग्रीन टेक्नोलॉजीज एंड clean energy environment and rationality and conducive environment for the producers. So they all are very serious. उनका जो मत है कि एक ऐसे जो प्रावधान किया जाए जिससे कि हर एक कंट्री को फायदा हो और लोगों का कल्याण हो.
So, in terms of sources of green and clean energy, and India as a regional, of course, we're looking at it being a global hub. But as a regional leader in terms of technology, you said that a lot of, creativity is happening, a lot of startups are coming, young people. So, you think that we have a regional leadership position in this?
Yes, we have right now strong position, and we are looking very promising at the in the global arena. People and the investors and the technology developers are looking at India because we have a great potential and a great market also. And our people are very, very adaptive of the change, and they want a change. They want to move forward with the green and clean technologies. So there are a lot of hopes and cheer about such kind of development, and people are very enthusiastic to move forward and the adoption of such technologies.
Right.
जी और अब रुक करते हैं शेयर बाजार का. वैश्विक शेयर बाजारों के कमजोर संकेतों के बावजूद प्रमुख घरेलू शेयर बाजारों में आज हल्की बढ़त दर्ज हुई. बॉम्बे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज का सेंसेक्स 100 अंक के उछाल से 65,881 पर बंद हुआ. नेशनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंज का निफ्टी भी 36 अंक की वृद्धि से 19,611 के स्तर पर पहुंच गया. व्यापक बाजार की बात करें तो बीएसई मिड कैप इंडेक्स में 0.1% की मामूली बढ़त रही और स्मॉल कैप इंडेक्स लगभग सपाट बंद हुआ.
A detailed look at the stocks now. Key domestic share indices today closed with modest gains. The BSE Sensex rose 100 points to finish at 65,881. The NSE Nifty also added 36 points to settle at 19,611. Both indices gained even as cues from global share markets were negative. In the broader market at the BSE, the mid-cap index added marginally around 0.1%, while the small-cap index ended almost flat. In the Sensex index, which is a pack of 30 companies, shares of 17 companies appreciated, while those of 13 declined. Sun Pharma climbed 2.1%, while Titan and ITC both rose 1.3%. On the other hand, Ultratech Cement declined 1.5%, Maruti fell 0.9%, and HDFC Bank slipped 0.6%. In sectoral indices at the BSE, telecommunications sector gained 1.7% and FMCG rose 1.1%. On the other side, realty and metal sector indices fell 1% each. The overall market breadth was positive as shares of 1,955 companies appreciated and 1,682 companies declined. A total of 154 shares remained unchanged. Dr. Sharma, modest gains, and I think somewhere this has become the catchword over the past few days. And is this a sign of strength that, we sometimes maybe starts a little lower, the indices, and then move up and end up with modest gains? This is a stronger way to go than and with less volatility. Do you think volatility days are now decreasing?
Yes, as I mentioned earlier also that markets are in a consolidating mode, and though markets breadth is very, very positive, but markets are consolidating at this level because there are many expectations that inflation will also come down in the coming months, and there will be some pause in the Fed rate hikes also, and RBI has already announced the pause in the policy rate. So hopes are there, but markets wants to consolidate at this juncture to move forward and to take a new jump of the new highs in the coming times because the growth story is very, very intact, and we are moving ahead, and the first quarter numbers are very, very promising at 7.8%, which is the great growth trajectory which we have attained in the last 2-3 years. In the post-corona era, we grew at the rate of 9.1% in the 21-22, then 7.2% 22-23. Now the first quarter numbers are 7.8%. And this growth is very, very promising, and people are now very, very lucrative about the Indian market. But the juncture is consolidating and indicating that there is lot of potential in the market to move forward and to make new highs in the coming months.
So this steady increase, and there was a view a few months ago that when the Sensex was really taking off and the volatility was high, that maybe the market was overheated and stocks were overvalued. Do you think that's not the case anymore?
Yes, I don't see that there is some any negative view from any side, but liquidity problem or some kind of consolidation is happening in the market, and market will, I think, consolidate at this juncture, and no significant deceleration is expected in the market. But after the consolidation, there is expected move that markets will move forward and go high on the back of various developments and various announcements by the government, and along with the inflationary expectations coming down.
जी महंगाई का मोर्चा डॉक्टर शर्मा एक ऐसा अभी भी बना हुआ है जहां चुनौतियां अभी भी हैं, और ये जो रिजर्व बैंक के दायरे से अभी भी बाहर जो है मुद्रास्फीति बनी हुई है। तो अभी जो हम मानसून की अगर हम बात करें तो जिस तरीके से इस बार अनइवन असमान वर्षा रही है, कहीं पर ज़्यादा कहीं पर कम, तो आने वाले समय में अगली तिमाही में क्या आपको लगता है कि इस मानसून का महंगाई पे कुछ आप असर देखते हैं, और जो कि आगे चल करके शेयर बाजार पर भी अपना कुछ ना कुछ प्रभाव दिखाई दे सकता है हमें?
देखिए, इसके बारे में मैं ये बताना चाहता हूँ कि जो अभी हमने महंगाई दर्ज की, जो इन्फ्लेशन एकदम से एस्केलेट हुआ, वो सप्लाई डिसरप्शंस की वजह से था, सप्लाई शॉर्टेजेस की वजह से नहीं था। जो डिसरप्शंस हुई, जो चीज को एक जगह से दूसरी जगह पे पहुंचने में डिसरप्शंस आई और प्राइसेस एकदम से शूट अप हुए, तो उसी वजह से ये प्राइसेस गए थे। खाली जो टमाटो की जो प्रोडक्शन थी उसमें प्रॉब्लम की वजह से कि बाकी चीजों को भी एस्केलेशन मिली। लेकिन अभी प्राइसेस अगर आप देखेंगे कि जुलाई के मुकाबले में अगस्त के जो प्राइसेस थे लगभग कोई 40-50% कम थे। अगर हम टमाटो के प्राइसेस के ऊपर ही जाएं तो वो 200 रुपए के लगभग दर्ज किए गए थे जो जब पीक पे थे, तो अभी वो कम होके 50-60 रुपए पे आ गए हैं। एक सिग्निफिकेंट फॉल आया है, मतलब जो पीक था उससे कम 25% के प्राइसेस रह गए हैं। तो इन्फ्लेशन ट्रैजेक्टरी जो है वो आने वाले टाइम में एक सॉफ्टनिंग साइड पे जाती हुई दिखाई दे रही है कि इन्फ्लेशन डिसेलिरेट होगा, कोई लगभग इन्फ्लेशन जो है वो 4 और 4.5% के बीच में आने वाले कुछ महीनों में आ जाना चाहिए। और दूसरा जो आपने एक जो वरिंग फैक्टर जो आपने बताया कि मॉनसून बिहेवियर बहुत ही इरेटिक था और बहुत ही एब्रप्ट रहा, कहीं पे बहुत ज्यादा वर्षा हुई है और कहीं पे नहीं हुई है, और जो ओवरऑल है वो डेफिशिएंसी है। तो मैं समझता हूँ कि इन्फ्लेशन के ऊपर इसका बहुत कम असर पड़ने की जरूरत है, क्योंकि लास्ट ईयर में बेस बहुत हाई रहा है, तो बेस इफेक्ट का फायदा हमें इस साल में मिलेगा। तो इन्फ्लेशन ज्यादा हाई लेवल पे सस्टेन नहीं कर पाएगा। तो इन्फ्लेशन में एक नॉर्मल ट्रैजेक्टरी मैं समझता हूँ कि 4 से 5% के बीच में इन्फ्लेशन कंसोलिडेट करना चाहिए, सीपीआई इन्फ्लेशन।
Dr. Sharma, coming to the US economy, and just wanting to get a sense from you that we know that some sort of stability has come in, but still inflation is there and higher than it's in the years earlier US has ever faced, and the Fed has always used rate hikes as a methodology, and successfully to a great extent. What is your opinion on maybe a further rate hike in the near future and its impact on stocks worldwide?
I don't see any continuation of the rates, because now the liquidity is drying in the global markets, and markets are seeking more and more liquidity, but the liquidity shortage factor is there. So I don't see that there will be some support to the inflation to move forward and to sustain at this level. So the policymakers like the Fed, they should also consider such kind of scenarios, and there should not be any hawkish move in the coming times, and if a pause is expected from in the global arena.
Right. So that means, and of course, in India, the festive season is coming. So, of course, we are looking at maybe a more buoyant stock market also, then it's in the right direction. But worldwide also, winter is coming, the seasons are changing, oil prices, of course, we'll be having a story on that later, but winter price hike of oil invariably is there, consumption is high. How is that likely to affect economies in the next 3 to 4 months?
I think our story about growth will remain intact, and growth should not be impacted by such a scenario, because we have already faced so many difficulties like the coronavirus, thereafter the Russia-Ukraine war, and other geopolitical developments. So I don't see that markets will be impacted by such a scenario, because markets are now becoming more and more resilient, and economy is also more and more resilient. But markets always consolidate at this at some level. So this consolidation is also in line with the developments, and there is no major worry from the side of global developments, and expectations are that we should move forward, and again, election year is there, so announcements are expected from the government again and again, and that will provide a great support to the markets also.
जी, रुपए के प्रदर्शन पर नजर डाल लेते हैं। विदेशी मुद्रा बाजार में रुपया आज $1 की तुलना में 83 रुपए 14 पैसे प्रति डॉलर के स्तर पर बंद हुआ। विश्व की 6 प्रमुख मुद्राओं की तुलना में डॉलर की मजबूती दर्शाने वाला डॉलर इंडेक्स अंतर्दिवसीय कारोबार में 104.68 पर चल रहा था। बात करते हैं वैश्विक शेयर बाजारों की। सबसे पहले एशियाई शेयर बाजार। एशियाई शेयर बाजारों में आज कारोबार मिला जुला रहा। जापान का निकेई 0.6% और चीन का शंघाई कंपोजिट इंडेक्स 0.1% की बढ़त के साथ बंद हुए। उधर दूसरी तरफ दक्षिण कोरिया का कोस्पी 0.7% की गिरावट में रहा। सिंगापुर का स्ट्रेट्स टाइम्स इंडेक्स 0.1% के मामूली नुकसान में रहा। हांगकांग का हैंग सेंग इंडेक्स बिना किसी उतार चढ़ाव के सपाट बंद हुआ। यूरोपीय शेयर बाजार भी अंतर्दिवसीय कारोबार के दौरान गिरावट में चल रहे थे। फ्रांस का कैक 40 0.9% लुढ़क गया। लंदन का फुट्सी 100 0.7% और जर्मनी का डेक्स 0.5% की गिरावट के साथ कारोबार कर रहे थे।
We take a quick look at the US markets. The US share indices closed lower yesterday. The three major stocks declined as Treasury yields rose along with oil prices, and investors assessed prospects for the Federal Reserve's interest rate path. The Nasdaq Composite Index fell 0.1%, the Dow Jones Industrial Average slipped 0.2%, and the S&P 500 declined 0.4%. Dr. Sharma, a quick question on, so of course, the Indian market, we had modest gains today, and somewhere we are saying that we are also finding our own path, not completely dependent on international markets, and we can see that in the movements. In terms of the US market, do you think that they are also in a consolidating and stabilizing phase, and somewhere have built in the possibility of what the Fed is going to say about a rate hike? Because, we really don't know what Mr. Jerome Powell's statement and narrative would be, though by and large we could guess. But do you think the market has built it in?
Yes, I already mentioned that markets globally are in a consolidating mode because of so many factors, like inflation scenario is seen stabilizing, and the Fed is also expected to pause in the deposits, and the liquidity problem is also there. So markets are at this juncture consolidating, not only in India but throughout the world, and major markets are not moving or creating a major volatility. So I think this is a healthy environment for the markets as going forward, if the inflation becomes benign for the many countries. So there is a great scope to for markets to take another position to move forward and to make good highs in the coming times.
We take a look at the oil prices now. When oil prices today logged marginal losses in intraday trade. Brent crude was trading at $89.75 per barrel. West Texas Intermediate crude price was at $86.60 per barrel when reports last came in. Wanting to again understand from you, Dr. Sharma, that, about a month and a half, 2 months back, we had seen that 80 was the range around which oil prices, and we were all very happy. They had kind of stabilized. Though India has purchased Russian oil, we are not really overly concerned. But there has been a gradual and a regular increase in oil prices, and we are seeing them slowly inching forward due to different reasons and international decisions by different countries. Do you think it's a cause for concern because our economy is a stable one? It's doing well. Do you think this could somewhere in the near future upset that apple cart?
Yes, I totally agree because prices have taken a momentum. But I don't see that prices will sustain at a high level because global growth and growth in many countries who consume more and more oil are facing the problem of GDP rise, and GDP is decelerating in many economies, and like China is also slowing in the growth trajectory. So I don't see that prices will go continuously go up and can remain at high level. They have to take correction in the coming times, and the normal prices will prevail in the coming times for the crude oil.
जी, और अब कीमती धातु की बात कर लेते हैं। मल्टी कमोडिटी एक्सचेंज में अक्टूबर अनुबंध वाला सोना 59,240 रुपये प्रति 10 ग्राम पर कारोबार कर रहा था। दिसंबर माह के लिए चांदी का वायदा भाव 320 रुपये की तेजी से 73,130 रुपये प्रति किलो पर चल रहा था। वैश्विक बाजारों में न्यूयॉर्क मर्केंटाइल एक्सचेंज में सोना मंदी के साथ $1,950.40 प्रति औंस और चांदी $23.75 प्रति औंस के स्तर पर कारोबार कर रही थी। डॉक्टर शर्मा, बहुत संक्षेप में आपसे टिप्पणी चाहेंगे सोने की कीमतों पर। 61-62 हज़ार तक हमने जाते देखा सोना, और अब ये गिरावट का दौर सोने में, क्या आने वाले वक्त में कुछ तेजी की उम्मीद कर सकते हैं?
जी, सोने में भी वही मेरा व्यू है कि गोल्ड इज ऑल्सो कंसोलिडेटिंग एट दिस जंक्शन बिकॉज अभी थोड़ा जो लिक्विडिटी की प्रॉब्लम है या फिर डॉलर थोड़ा स्ट्रांग हुआ है, तो उस वजह से गोल्ड के प्राइसेस जो है अभी एक अपनी तय बनाए हुए हैं। लेकिन आने वाले टाइम में वी कांट रूल आउट के गोल्ड एक न्यू हाई भी बना सकता है।
जी, डॉक्टर एस.पी. शर्मा, आप कार्यक्रम में शामिल हुए और इतनी उपयोगी चर्चा की, इसके लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Shukriya.
Thank you, Dr. Sharma, for joining us on the program. And now, before we close, a quick look at the headlines. Union Cabinet approves viability gap funding for development of battery energy storage systems to promote clean and green energy. Key domestic share indices log modest gains. Sensex finishes at 65,881. Nifty settles at 19,611. And Brent crude hovers around $90 per barrel. And that's it in this edition of Market Mantra. Namaskar.
नमस्कार।
This is Akashvani, the news read by Renuka.